think this guy with this skill, he could have probably made it from the 30-yard line anyway. And he gets the ball to start the second half as well, which is very, very good for him. And another screen pass. This time, I thought I had him stopped for like a 6-yard gain, which would have been like a victory in my book. But bam, he breaks the tackle. And he gets a 1st and 10 again. And this is a very resilient player overall in the sense that, you know, he would run these outside runs and get stuffed and come back and hit like a 30-yard pass down the middle. Here I think I played a man coverage, except that guy wasn't man for some reason, but that's okay. He gets a 6-yard gain on 2nd and 10. 3rd and 4. I tried to go with the all-out blitz. Probably not the best idea in retrospect, and he was able to just get an easy dump off over the middle. Yeah, here another outside run, which has not worked for him at all the entire game, the outside run. But he's extremely resilient. He's not deterred by that failure. He always comes back and hits one across the middle. And 1st and 10 again. Inside run. Now maybe he should have done more of these, because inside runs are apparently giving him good yardage, where his outside runs have been complete failures. And here he comes up with a very weird formation. I definitely wasn't ready for this. And for some reason I did not call an audible. I'm not sure if it would have made a difference. And he picks up 10 yards. Nice gain here. He gets the 1st and goal. He passes outside. Wow! I really should have picked that off, but, you know, I wasn't using that guy, so I guess I can't really complain too much. And that was just my lack of skill, I guess, for not using him. But I was very lucky to stop him on that 2nd down. 3rd down. I thought I had a chance to pick it off, but wow, through my receiver, touchdown. Very nice touchdown. And the guy decides to go for 2, probably because he wants to be up a field goal, and he probably figured I go for 2 all the time anyway, and he wants to match it. So that's another thing. Like, because I go for 2 so often, it actually entices the opponent to go for 2, because he feels like he needs to stay with me step by step, and that sometimes causes mistakes, especially for someone who's not used to going for 2 all the time. Here, man coverage, very nice again. I was very lucky to get Marcus Lee just with a little bit of separation there, but I could tell he was playing a 2-man under. So that's why I come back with a bunch formation, though it's a 2-man under, and I was able to hit Flurney over the middle for a lot of yards. So the bunch formation worked very well there. I think I even wiped off the defender with the R1 receiver to open up Flurney. So that bunch formation play was basically designed to beat his man coverage, which it worked. 1st and 10 again, and he's got me man coverage again. And I should have scrambled there, but for some reason, he missed the sack. And I was able to get 1 yard there. Otherwise, it would have been like -6. And I figured, hey, you know, let's try this down the middle pass again, and bam, touchdown, Marcus Lee. And I go for 2 again, and I figured, let's just go to my best 2-point conversion play, and touchdown. Yeah, don't mess with that 4 square route stuff, because that didn't work. And I think overall that's slightly riskier in terms of completion percentage than the blind slant. The only reason I go for the 4 square route 2-point conversion sometimes is because that prevents any sort of pick 2. Whereas for the blind slant, if you're not lucky or if you're against a good player, you can get a pick 2. Whereas the square route, there's no way you can get pick 2. Worst case scenario is just an incompletion. And here, wow, I don't know why he needed to get so desperate, down by 5. A huge interception. I think probably because I had pushed him to 3rd and 20, and he felt like he needed a big gain. And then big 1st down here on a blind slant. And right now, I'm just trying to run out the clock. Very lucky to get it to Marcus Lee, but very unlucky not to be able to take it to the house. Otherwise, the game would be over. But as a result, we still got a few suspenseful minutes to play here. And I'm basically trying my strategy of passing every down, but still running out the clock. And I see that he's playing man. I'm like, okay, that's totally fine in this situation. I'm happy with 3 Matt Barkley scrambles if that's what he forces me to do. So I take a Matt Barkley scramble, run down the clock. I think he plays me man again, and I have to scramble again. And this time he doesn't get me. So I was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And I think I was able to stay in bounds as well. Yep, I was able to stay in bounds and run off some more clock. Now 3rd and 11, big third down here. Man coverage again. I tried to wipe play again. The guy was kind of wiped, but just a big overthrow on my part, and I had to settle for a field goal. But I figured I'd rather overthrow than throw an interception since that was pretty tight man coverage. And now I'm up by 8, so I'm really challenging this guy to make his 2-point conversions count. And he goes for this deep ball over the middle, which has worked for him very well the entire game. But this time I was able to pick it off. And now I'm just in run off the clock mode. I know he still has 3 timeouts, so I need a first down. And like I said in my previous video, I'm not very good running the ball, so I gotta pass. It's either pass or scramble. Maybe in retrospect, I should have tried some draws. That was one thing I really thought about after my last game that I should incorporate into my play. Maybe I was just too nervous and I just want to go with what I do best. And here, pretty nice. I got 2 yards on a second unit scramble. And now we're coming up in a situation where he takes a timeout, so I have to get a first down to chew off this time. And Robert Woods. Actually, no, it's Marcus Lee on slant. That was a huge first down, and basically allows me to run off the clock all the way until like 2 or 3 seconds. Here I just go with the run. I could have probably just taken a knee, but I figured I trust McNeil not to fumble. Go with the run again. This time he was waiting for it. So he forces me into a very difficult 3rd and 9, and I go with the run again. Like, I had so much room for a blind slant, but I just didn't want to take a chance. I figured he'll have, like 6 or 7 seconds at best if I just run up the middle. Whereas if I throw a blind slant and somehow he picks it off, he'll have 40 seconds to go try to score 8 points. So I just went with the conservative play, and I decided to kick a field goal. And I ended up getting a delay of game penalty. I thought I had kicked it on the 1 second clock, and I didn't. Which is a big deal, because usually kicking a field goal, even if I miss, as long as it goes straight through, that's going to run out the clock. But now here, it's a 60-yard field goal, and he has a guy waiting at the goal line. So theoretically, he could return this. But somehow I was able to kick it out far enough that he was not able to return. So very lucky there. An exciting game overall, I would say. And I was able to come out on top by 8 points against a pretty strong opponent. So 25-17 was the final. And let's see the play of the game. Yep, Marcus Lee over the middle. On that one play that he didn't play me man, I was able to get it over the middle for a touchdown. There we see Lane Kiffin there. Shaking hands with, I'm not sure who that is, but apparently he likes that visor as well. And Marcus Lee had a huge day. 8 catches, 193, and 3 touchdowns. This wasn't by design. Like, in my formations, I had Marcus Lee in the slot half the time and Robert Woods in the slot half the time. But I had Robert Woods in the bunch formation slot. For some reason, he was able to stop those plays better than the other formation. So I guess it just happened based on the opponent preference that Marcus Lee had a huge day again. And those 2 turnovers really hurt my opponent. Overall, I'm very happy with the 0 interceptions. If I had any interceptions, I think the game would have been totally different. This opponent is much better than the guy I played last time. And Marcus Lee had a lot of catches. Robert Woods only 1 catch, surprisingly. But it was a huge first down, I think. Not the one at the end, but still a huge first down during the game. He passed a lot to his halfback straight up the middle. So maybe he was trying the same strategy. Instead of using a slot receiver straight up the middle, he goes with the halfback straight up the middle. And that's it. So here's the scoring summary, 8-6, 8-3. Yeah, too bad I missed that 2-point conversion, but at least I got higher than 50%, and that's basically what you're shooting for. So 2 out of 3 is pretty nice.